Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight's headlines, we have the head of state chairs the work of the 21st session of the Council of Ministers. For the international scene, after the failure of the Security Council, Gaza on the menu at the UN General Assembly. Welcome to our newsroom. Under the chairmanship of His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic, Head of Government, the 21st session of the Council of Ministers took place this Tuesday, December 12, 2023. The following texts were examined and approved with the Ministry of the Budget. The first question, draft finance law on the initial state budget for fiscal year 2024. The state budget for fiscal year 2024 is presented in balance in revenue and expenditure at the sum of 152.49 billion. The budget is down by 1.282 billion and a slight decrease of 0.8% compared with the Amending Finance Act for fiscal year 2023. The 2024 budget has been drawn up in an international economic context that remains marked by numerous uncertainties and persistently high inflationary pressures. The 2024 budget is also characterized by a clear improvement in domestic revenue and by a slight reduction in expenditure linked essentially to a reduction in current expenditure, personal expenses, materials for services. For fiscal 2024, the BIA introduced a series of innovative new measures in a national context of recovering economic activities. In addition to the new measures generating additional low revenue, the tax administration will be strengthening its performance and continuing to increase tax collection through more rigorous control. The budget for the 2024 includes several measures aimed at extending the MFE to export, sales and services, repealing the exemptions from the minimum fixed tax for mixed economy companies in the oil sector with the majority state ownership, extending the VAT liability to the liberal professions, the modification of the tax on international and regional air ticket, the modification of filling deadlines for salaries and wages tax returns, and the revision of threshold for the exercise of transactions right by the various customs authorities with the notably reinforced penalties for different types of offense. It should be noted that for the first time, the initial State Finance Act for fiscal year 2024 provides for the creations of 115 budgetary positions dedicated to the recruitment of people with the special needs. The exceptional measure follows the head of state's announcement during the 5th National Disability Week. As in previous years, in view of the guidelines set out in the current finance bill, emphasis will be placed on respecting budgetary discipline, strengthening a prior control, implementing structural reforms aimed at reinforcing the stability of the macroeconomic framework, pursuing actions to combat poverty, promoting inclusion and the development of human capital, economic transformation, and strengthening the actions of the state. Ministry of Higher Education and Research, they issued 2 draft law adopting the 2022 financial account of the Higher Institute of Health Sciences, ESSS, financial statement. The ESSS 2022 financial statement show income of 285 million and expenses of 245 million with a surplus of 14 million. Banning earnings for the 2022 financial year have risen due to an increase in own revenue, notably registration fees 16.7 million, continuing education fees 5.8 million, and amphitheater rentals 1.1 million. Expenses for the year will fall from 271.6 million in 2021 to 245.7 million in 2022. This is due to reductions in operating expenses, notably purchase and external charges, and in social charges with the discontinuations of scholarships and reductions in tuition vacations. ESSS employees 53 people in 2022. ESSS invested over 9.2 million in software, hardware and tools, IT equipment and laboratory reagents. During the 2022 academic year, ESSS welcomed 322 students in training courses. The Ministry of Labor in charge of formalization and social protection, the question 3 draft law approving the financial account for the 2021 financial year of the National Social Security Fund, CNSS. The CNSS financial account for the 2021 financial year show income of 334.1 billion and expenses of 30.5 billion with a surplus of 3.6 billion. This result for the 2021 financial years is 40% lower than for the 2020 financial year, mainly due to the impact of the COVID-19. However, total incomes is up and consists mainly of contribution to the general scheme, 20.6 billion, the special scheme 5.1 billion, financial income 461 million, and other operating incomes expenses for the 2021 financial year are rising, with the main items increasing being expenses relating to the various planes, 14.16%, which amounted to 11.1 billion, and personal expenses which rose 10.1% from 3.6 billion in 2020 to 3.9 billion. Long-term investment will rise from 2.9 billion in 2020 to 3.28 billion. This increase is linked to the rise in equity investment. In 2021, CNSS will have invested around 2.9 billion in software and licenses, constructions, offices and IT equipment, general installations, while nearly 2.1 billion will be invested in fixed assets in progress, notably the constructions of the new hospital. Ministry of Economy and Finance, responsible for industry. 4 questions. The projected budget for the 2024 has incomes over 385.2 million and expenses are 321.4 million with a profit of 63.8 million. Forecast income fell slightly. They will fall from 387.4 million in 2023, 385.2 million in 2024. Income consists mainly of the government subsidies, interests on credit operations and proceeds from the liquidations of the former Bank of Development. The drop in incomes is essentially linked to the absence of new credit lines since 2017. Forecast operating expenses are 7.6% lower than in the previous 2023 budget. This reduction is linked to a decrease in financial expenses of 4.6 million in 2024. The Djibouti Economic Development Fund will invest 15.5 million in the acquisitions of equipment, office furniture, computer hardware and rolling stock. The investment concerned the acquisitions of utility vehicles and a generator. The Minister of National Education Vocational Training. The 5th question, draft decree approving the provisional budget for the 2024 financial year of CRIPEN. CRIPEN's provisional budget for the 2024 financial year is set at nearly 478 million in incomes and expenditure. The projected 2024 budget represents an increase of over 14.3 million. The budget breaks down into the operating budget 3.20 million and investment budget of 158 million. Income for the year comprises the government subsidies and own resources, textbook sales. Estimated operating expense remains similar to those for 2023, with the main item being personal costs, purchases, and other external services. The 2024 budget is earmarked for priority objectives such as the acquisitions of audiovisual equipment for television production, the purchase of furniture for the new buildings, the continued revisions of the textbook and teaching aids programs, the installations of an elevator for the new building, and the acquisitions of a computer equipment. For the start of 2023-2024 school year, CRIPEN has made more than 989,000 teachings and learning materials available to the various educational structures. CRIPEN plans to continue publishing teaching and learning materials and digitizing materials for basic education. Adoptions of the draft decree will enable the center to fully accomplish its mission and participate in the policy of improving the quality of education. Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fishery, Livestock, and Fish Resources. The sixth question, project appropriations of the provisional budget of the ONIAD for the exercise 2024. ONIAD's projected budget for the 2024 includes incomes of 9.5 billion with a profit of 19.3 million. The projected result for the year is down on that for 2023. Income for the year fell by 307 million. They will amount to 9.59 billion in 2024, compared with the 9.9 billion in 2023. Production solid waters and wastewater will increase due to the forecast rise in water consumption by households in the new residential estates and by certain large consumers, as well as consumption by foreign military bases. Forecast operating expenses amount to 9.57 billion. The main item being purchases, external services, personal costs, financial expenses. By 2024, ONIAD will have invested some 610.4 million of its own fund in equipment to replace and strengthen its operating resources, rolling stock, construction, piping, and connections, offices, and IT furniture, and electrical and electromechanical equipment. Ministry of Muslim Affairs and Waqf. The seventh questions, draft decree approving the Diwan Property 2024 budget forecast. The Diwan estimated budget for the 2024 financial years is presented with the revenue of 580 million and expenses of 570 million, with a net surplus of 10 million. Income for the year will increase in 2024 and is made up of rental incomes, which is up of 17%, and income from cemetery royalty. Forecast royalties are down 11.8 million. The increase in income is linked to revaluations of housing rental prices and improved rent collection. Estimated expenditure is up to 52.1 million on the previous year's budget, 519.8 million. The main expenditure items are purchases, external charges, and other external services. The Diwan Property plans to invest 77.9 million in the reorganization of the cemetery, the constructions and acquisitions of the software, office and computer equipment, and the purchase of the rolling stock. The state has made available 200 hectares of land in Shebele for the creations of a new cemetery. Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity issue 8 draft decree approving and implementing the 2024 provisional budget of the Djiboutian Social Development Agency (ADDS). The 2024 provisional budget of the ADDS is set in income and expenses at 523 million. The operating budget shows an increase of 7.3%. Income for the year comprises the government subsidies and project management income. Operating expenses increased in 2024 due to the assumptions of the 7.8 arrear and personal costs. Other operating expenses will decrease by 6% in 2024. ADDS plans to invest more than 1.2 billion in the implementation of its project, in particular in the following projects: the Integrated Urban Development Project, the project to strengthen communities for better nutrition, and the Integrated Water Resources Project. ADDS will also invest 6 million in the acquisitions of monitoring and IT equipment. The adoption of this draft budget will enable ADDS to pursue its missions to reduce social inequalities and improve the living conditions of underprivileged populations. The Ministry of City, Urban Planning and Habitat. The ninth question, draft decree approving the 2024 provisional budget of the Urban Rehabilitation Social Housing Agency, ARULOS. The ARULOS 2024 provisional budget is set at 2,512 million in incomes and 1.145 million in operating expenses, and with a provisional result of 22 million. The agency's income is made up of rental income from housing estates, plot sales, proceeds for amicable disposal and repayment of materials loan, as well as rental incomes for the Gargar market. Operating expenses will amount to 1.145 billion in 2024, with the main expenses item being purchases of 21 million, other external services 30 million, and personal costs 594.5 million. In 2024, ARULOS will invest nearly 12 million of its own fund in offices, furniture, and fixture and fitting to strengthen its general resources. It will also invest 1.285 billion of its own fund in the servicing of plots of land of Balbala, Pika 12, and Balbala Sud, Measure 4, 5 and 6, and the reconstructions of the burnout housing as part of the implementation of the project financed by the external partner. The agency will be making an investment worth over 5.872 billion in 2024. Work is scheduled to start on the constructions of the 1,000 social apartments at Picat 13 and to finalize the constructions of around 800 social housing units, including 500 social housing units in Balbala Sud, 100 units for families affected by Zero Slums project, and around 200 units to be rebuilt as part of the assistance program for families affected by fires as part of the Zero Slum program. The agency plans to accelerate implementation with the physical investment in public facilities and upgrading works, notably in Balbala Ancien, Balbala North, Balbala 11, Balbala T9, Karawil, Pompage, and Harirad, as well as in the Jagabuldur district of the commune of Bulaus. The agency is projected budget will enable it to consolidate its activities in promoting affordable housing and accelerating access to home ownership for low and middle income households. Issue 10, draft decree approving the projected budget for the fiscal 2024 of the CIAF. The 2024 budget of CIAF is presented as incomes of 3.987 million, 3,987 million, and expenses of 3.800 million, with the forecast incomes of 127 million. CIAF's budget has been drawn up with a view to increasing its activities and carrying out its various projects. Forecast income for the year has risen sharply 1.6 billion, mainly due to the sale of serviced plots in Nagad, particularly phase 1 of the 100 hectares allotment, and CIAF's other income consists of rental revenue for sales of Hodan 1 and 2 commercial rentals, sales of prefabricated materials, and the marketing of single-family homes. Forecast expenditure, operating and capital expenditure amount to 3.8 billion. The CF's operating expenses have been revised downwards. The main items are purchases, external services, and personal costs. In 2024, the real estate and land development company CF will invest 2.6 billion of its own fund in the real estate project. This investment relates to servicing work on phase 2 of Nagad and the development of residential housing. The company plans to invest 210 million to strengthen its production and distribution capacity through fit-out, construction and technical installation work, as well as the acquisitions of construction machinery, office equipment, and IT hardware. Ministry of Communication in charge of Post and Telecommunication, draft order issue 11, draft order approving the provisional budget of the Radio Television of Djibouti RTD for the financial 2024 financial year. RTD's projected budget for the 2024 is presented with the balanced incomes and expenditure of 1,629,148,797 francs. To budget, the budget for the years is down slightly from 1.66 million in 2023 to 1.629 billion in 2024. RTD's revenue in 2024 will be made up of advertising income from the provisions of frequencies and other services, and the government subsidies. Forecast expenditure is slightly higher than in 2023. The main items are personal costs, purchases, external services, other external services, and financial expenses. The number of the employees has risen to 456 since 2021. In 2024, RTD will invest more than 50.5 million in computer hardware and software, technical installations and constructions, as well as in office equipment, furniture, and rolling stock. It also provides for the implementation of several projects, notably the Egypt Talent project and the digital storage capacity enhancement project. The issue 12 draft decree adopting the provisional 2024 budget of the National Printing Offices of Djibouti. The projected 2024 budget of the National Printing Office of Djibouti is presented at 559 million, with a profit of 24 million. Forecast revenue are up of 8.5%. They are made up of sales of printed matter for the state, sales of printed matter for public establishments, sales of printed matters to the private sectors, and to state subsidies of 2024. The national printing by 2024, the national printing offices of Djibouti will have invested more than 58.5 millions in the acquisitions of a new equipment and in the development of a new printing roll and plant. This investment concern the acquisitions of a computer equipment, fixture and fitting constructions and technical equipment. Communication, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation government spokesman reported on the participation of the President of the Republic in the 41st session of the IGAD Extraordinary Summit on the Situation in Sudan, held in Djibouti on December 9, 2023. At this summit, the President of the Republic, the current chairman of IGAD, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, delivered a speech calling for a ceasefire in Sudan. The summit dedicated to the crisis in Sudan achieved a major breakthroughs and established a series of confidence-building measures between the conflicting parties, paving the way of the launch and of a political process. The Minister of Justice and Penitentiary Affairs in charge of human rights reported on his working visit to Doha from December 3 to 5, 2023. The Minister for Women and Family reported on her participation in the IGAD ministerial meeting on the adoptions of the regional gender strategy and the regional actions plan for women's peace and security 2023-2013, held on November 29, 2023 in Mombasa, Kenya. The session, chaired by the Minister of Women's Affairs, adopted strategic documents for the promotions of equity and equal opportunities. The Minister of Agriculture, Water, Fishery, Livestock and Fish Resources reported on his participation in the work of the 28th United Nations Climate Conference held from December 4 to 6, 2023 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The Minister of Energy and Natural Resources gave a mission report on his participation in the various meetings organized in conjunction with the COP28, which was held from November 1 to 6, 2023 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The Minister for the Environment and Sustainable Development reported on the participation of the delegation led by the President of the Republic at the COP28 United Nations Climate Conference held from November 30 to December 12, 2023 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. During the summit, the head of state delivered an important speech in which he underlined our country's vulnerability to climate change while highlighting the progress made by our country in combating the harmful effects of climate change through the interconnections, the installations of a 60 megawatt wind farm, the forthcoming constructions of a solar farm, the regional climate change observatory, and an innovative project to combat malaria. The Minister of Trade and Tourism reported on his participation in the 38th ministerial meeting of the Standing Committee for Economic and Social Cooperation of the OIC countries and held from November 1st to 5, 2023 in Istanbul, Turkey. The Minister of Youth and Culture reported on the inscriptions of the hero elements on the UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage list at the 18th sessions of the Intergovernmental Committee of the 23 conventions held on December 5, 2023 in Kazan, Botswana. At the sessions, our country was represented by His Excellency Aid Mus'ad Yahi, Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to France and Permanent Delegate to UNESCO, and the Senior Advisor to the Ministry of Youth and Culture. This unprecedented achievement is a major step forward for our countries in terms of promoting and safeguarding its rich heritage. It also paves the way for a long list of intangible cultural heritage and tangible cultural heritage inscriptions at the UNESCO's Universal Register. The Minister for Youth also reported on the meeting of the Ministers of the Indian Ocean Youth and Sports Commission held on November 13, 2023 in Saint-Denis, Réunion Island. The Minister Delegate in charge of the Digital Economy and Innovation reported on her participation in the second editions of the African Startups Conference held from December 5 to 7, 2023 in Algiers. The Minister for Women and Family, Muna Osman Aden, took part yesterday afternoon in a virtual video conference to mark the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This year's theme was Africa committed to promoting women's participation in public and political life. The event was co-organized by Togo, Botswana, Djibouti, Namibia, Senegal, and Rwanda. Promoting the studies of women and strengthening their leadership is a necessity for the development and prosperity of the African continent. For her part, the Minister for Women and Family, Muna Osman Aden, highlighted the situations of Djiboutian women in terms of their participation in political life and their crucial role in public life, as well as the progress made. The celebration of the International Volunteers Day took place on Monday, December 11, 2023 at the Djibouti Palace Kempinski with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, in close collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Culture. In addition to the Minister of Youth and Culture, Hiba Momin Assowe, the ceremony in honor of volunteerism was attended by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Labor in charge of formalization and social protection, Abdallah Ali Muhammad, the representative of the coordination of the United Nations systems, Habib Omar Chirdon, the deputy representative of UNICEF, Franck Abey, the representative of the Food and Agriculture Organizations of the United Nations, FAO, Momina Abubakar, Kako, and the representative of the UNHCR, Johan Damkol Sekor. The coordinator of the UNFD's listening information and orientation unit, Mr. Saharla Hassan Ali, the Director of Sustainable Development at the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development, Bilan Hassan Ismail, as well as several dozens of young volunteers from the capital's Community Development Center.
My name is Khadrawi Sulaiman. I'm a member of the association who call it ADPG. Today we are there to celebrate the International Day of the Volunteer. So with my association we are there and we participate to this meeting who was really fun, and we meet a lot of persons and we meet all many young in this meeting, and I saw many volunteers and it makes me really happy.
For her part, the Minister of Culture emphasized in her speech that volunteerism means putting your talent and potential to work for a united, sovereign, and healthy nation conducive to sustainable societal development. And nowadays, many countries are increasingly implementing the strategies to ensure the promotions and development of volunteering. Marrakesh recently hosted the Arab Small Medium Entrepreneurs Summit 2023 at the Palais des Congrès under the inspiring theme of From Resilience to Prosperity, held over 3 days from December 12 to 15. The event brought together 3,000 carefully selected participants ranging from entrepreneurs to investors, politicians to journalists, with the aim of stimulating the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises in the face of the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic and economic obstacles, under the patronage of the Moroccan government and with the support of His Majesty King Mohammed VI. The summit was the largest gathering of small medium entrepreneurs in the Arab region. The 2023 edition, held in Marrakesh, follows from the success of the first summit held in Jordan in 2022 and seeks to capitalize on these momentum to create an environment conducive to small, medium entrepreneurs development. The event attracted a large delegation from the Republic of Djibouti, led by the Secretary of State for Investment, Safiya Mohammed Ali Gadile. The delegation also includes the Chief of Staff of the Minister of Economy and Finance, the Managing Directors of the Guarantee Fund, and the Director of the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship, as well as numerous Djibouti companies and startups. The central objectives of the summit was to create an annual platform to empower small, medium enterprises in the Arab regions and beyond, aligning with the regional sustainable development goals and promoting sustainable human development, particularly among young people and women. A training session on migration was given by the international organizations for migration to television, print, and web journalists yesterday, Monday, December 11, 2023, at Sheraton Hotel. The training was led by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Communication, Mr. Ahmed Yusuf Almi, and IOM Program Managers Bashar Al-Alamin. Migration is the act of changing one's places of residence for a long on permanent period. It is one of the modalities of mobility. Extracontinental migration is becoming more recurrent towards Europe, Asia, Australia, and America. Human migration is the movement of people from one place to another. Official statistics put the number of migrants at between 185 and 192 million. The training was given by Madame Laetitia and Kauthar. It was attended by media professionals from RTD and La Nation and Jeep Post. For his part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Communication, Ahmed Yusuf Almi, said that for his part, migration is the act of changing one's place of residence for a long on permanent period. It is one of the modalities of mobility, extracontinental migration is becoming more recurrent towards Europe, Asia, Australia, and America. Human migration is the movement of people from one place to another. Official statistics put the number of migrants at between 185 and 192 million. The prefect of Ali Sabih region, Abdul Malik Mohammed Banoita, accompanied by the president of the regional council, visited Jibkhe to get to know the area located to the northeast of the town of Ali Sabih, just a stone's thrown from the town center. The small and medium-sized chalk, medium-sized manufacturers of chalk of all color pens and brooms of all kinds, and its brooms of all kinds created in 2013 with the sole purpose of producing a school chalk by a young and ingenious son of the region who acquired the school chalk machine during a trip to China. The main customer for the production of chalk in all color is no one other than the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, which favors national productions when purchasing chalk. This pragmatic choice has ensured the viability of these national small-medium entrepreneurs, especially as its chalk production is in no way inferior to that imported in the past. For the international scene, the United Nations General Assembly is due to vote today on a resolution calling for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, a non-binding text that has every chance of passing. A draft text calling for this humanitarian ceasefire was vetoed by the United States in the Security Council on Friday. Many countries and human rights organizations deplored this failure. The new draft text largely reproduces the resolutions blocked at the Security Council on Friday by the U.S., expressing concern at the catastrophic humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip. It demands an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, calls for the protection of civilian humanitarian access, and the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. But like the text adopted by the General Assembly at the end of October, which called for an immediate, durable, and sustained humanitarian truce. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.